Howdy, future Northern Coloradoan, ready to ditch the traffic, embrace the mountains, and become a card-carrying member of the Altitude Adjustment Club? Well, buckle up your cowboy boots and get ready for a wild ride, because Northern Colorado is calling your name, and it's got more charm than a rodeo clown on roller skates. If you're thinking about joining them ranks of the Rocky Mountain enthusiasts, where our state bird is the craft brewing sparrow, well, buckle up and prepare for a roller coaster ride of altitude, and questionable fashion choices. So let's jump in it today and talk about my top 5 reasons we have seen a crazy population growth here in Northern Colorado. So my first reason why I believe Northern Colorado has seen such a population growth is the fact that we have some stunning natural beauty here. Northern Colorado is surrounded by the most majestic Rocky Mountains, offering breathtaking scenery and outdoor recreation opportunities, and a wealth of picturesque landscapes for photography, for wedding photos, XYZ on that side. With over 6 mountains reaching over the 14,000 foot mark, it has also become one of the most outdoorsy places that people travel to get out and explore and see the mountains. And so for the biggest reason, that's why I'm sitting here thinking the beauty of Northern Colorado and of Colorado in general and the Northern Rocky Mountain range is just spectacular, and I know has brought so many individuals out here searching to have a home with views of the Rocky Mountains, or just for the ability to get up into the Rocky Mountains to go play. Number 2 is definitely going to be the craft culture. Living here in Loveland, which I have done now for 8 years, has really proven how cultural and artistic this area is. From craft brewing, which obviously in my intro is a big deal out here. We have so many craft breweries. Just in Northern Colorado alone, with Boulder County and Larimer County, we have over 80 breweries. That's not even counting the rest of the cities and areas like Weld County around Northern Colorado. And we have more breweries here in this area of Northern Colorado than Denver does. And so if you're a beer guy or woman, great place to go on that side. And if you're not a beer person, craft eats are a huge deal up here as well. From Sunny Lubix to Blue Agave in Fort Collins, if you're going to head over to Loveland, you can get some really good spots like Door 222 or the Loveland Steakhouse. If you head out to Windsor, Colorado, you have the Mash Lab. Or you can go out to Ted's Place, which is a fun area to go grab just a quick meal. And so for being able to come out to Northern Colorado for the craft culture, huge deal. Loveland, huge into sculptures, huge into art. Estes Park is massive into glasswork, and they are huge into ceramics. And so no matter what, if you're looking for an art culture and just to be surrounded by artists, Northern Colorado is 100% your spot. So, number 3, and this is actually a huge one for me and a huge reason why I moved out here and was lucky enough to move out here, is health and well-being. You know, being up here with the clean mountains and the active lifestyle that most people have here generally creates such a great group to be able to keep weight off your body, to keep healthy. You know, a lot of people up here are very conscious about where they get their food from. If you're a person who likes beef and you're not a big fan of going to like a Costco or a Walmart to get your beef from some other state somewhere else where we're not sure where we get it from, Northern Colorado has plenty of places where you can go buy a third of a cow, half of a cow, or a full cow. There's also other places where you can go out and buy local sheep, other meals like that. We up in Fort Collins, one of the best butchers I would always recommend is up on the very south side or east side of Fort Collins, called Nick's Butcher. And so having that healthy community is such a big deal. And do for me, back in 2019, as a quick reference, just so for anybody who is dealing with medical issues, Northern Colorado / Loveland, I would say, is one of the best places to live if you have a serious medical condition. Back in 2018, unfortunately, I had to get a kidney transplant. And so living close to Denver was a huge deal, because I got to go down to Anschutz Medical Center of the Rockies, and they went in and fixed me all up, got me all fixed up with a brand new kidney, and everything went very smooth and seamless on that side. Living up in Montana or some of these other states that I lived in, we would have had to travel out of state to go and get some major surgeries done. Where here in Colorado, more than likely, if you live here, one of our hospitals here in Colorado is going to take care of you very well, and you're not going to have to leave the state or your home to really make that work. So that to me is a huge benefit, having multiple hospitals, especially up in northern Colorado. I can go up and get all my medical tests done, and if there was anything more serious, Denver is a great place and only about a 45 to 55-minute drive away. The next one, number 4, is going to be proximity to Denver and DIA. Just like I was saying before, we are so close here to Denver and DIA, depending on where you live. Fort Collins, you're starting to push the boundaries a little bit, I think. From Fort Collins, you're going to be probably looking at 50 minutes to over an hour to get to downtown Denver. Probably looking at over an hour at that point, unless you go at a 10 a.m. time frame where there's less traffic out there. Getting to DIA, you're probably looking at close to an hour or just a little over an hour from Fort Collins. But as most people probably know, Fort Collins is the main city up here other than Boulder to live in northern Colorado. But there are also a lot of other great places that can shorten your drive by 10 to 15 to 20 minutes, depending on where you want to live. So being able to get out to DIA for those out-of-state commuters is huge. And if you're someone who has to work in Denver and you really just don't like the vibes of Denver and what it feels like living down there, especially in some of those big cities like Westminster, Aurora, Parker, some of those spots, northern Colorado can be a really good secondary option. So knowing that DIA and Denver are close enough is amazing. The last thing I will say, number 5, and the reason why I think we are seeing such a huge population growth, is the fact that we have a great community spirit. Just alone for our company, we have been fortunate to be able to help and spend time with people from out of country, helping individuals that are in Ukraine, to being able to go to our local communities and work at the mission, which helps homeless people try and get back up on their feet, gives them a place to put their head down at night, and gives them a nice hot meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner on that side. And so we do have such a great community, and it's not just these companies that are doing it or from our cities, but we also have on Facebook community pages. For example, we have great community pages, so if you ever need anything like boxes to move or a quick meal or needed some references for some different helplines on that side, it is a great place to live, and you will never be left alone up here in northern Colorado if you are having a hard time. Well, those are my top 5 reasons why I think northern Colorado is a hell of a place to live. I think it is 100% worth moving up here. If you're thinking about moving to Colorado in general, don't skip out on it. Well worth a drive up here. And if you guys are just trying to get something figured out, trying to get an idea of where you want to move, if it's Denver, northern Colorado, southern Colorado, reach out to me. I'm happy to sit down and talk to you. I've lived everywhere except for down in the heart of Denver, so I'm not very familiar with that. But the southern side of Colorado, I have a very good idea of how it feels in the community out there versus northern Colorado. So feel free to reach out to me. And as always, my name is Connor Martin. I work here with Sukup Real Estate Services in Fort Collins, Colorado. And if you guys ever need help finding a home or just have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My information is down in the description. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch you next week.